Is this good? I don't hear me in house, but I don't hear me in house. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Can you hear me? Okay, Myron says he can hear me. Okay. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, family. We're getting ready to begin. Love is calling me home. Love has opened the door. Come inside and feel the light. I know you are. Love asks nothing more. Love is calling me home. Love has opened the door. Come inside and feel the light. Love asks nothing more. Peace is calling. Peace is calling me home. Peace has opened the door. Come inside and feel the light. Peace asks nothing more. Joy is calling. Joy is calling me home. Joy has opened the door. Open the door. Come inside and feel the light. Joy asks nothing more. Joy is calling. Joy is calling me home. Joy has opened the door. Come inside and feel the light. Joy asks nothing more. Love. Love is calling me home. Love has opened the door. Open the door. Come inside and feel the light. Love asks nothing more. Love asks nothing more. Good morning, family. My name is Dave Avani, and I'm so happy to be with you this morning. Feels like coming home. I'm accompanied by the Sounds of Spirit. Please, you know them, these guys back here. Okay, please stand, put away your device, stand up and sing with me. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart, and I won't let go. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Can you feel it? I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart, and I won't let go. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful.
Devavani is here. Good morning. Devavani, for those of you who are new, was our very first music director for 17 years, right? 17 years.
I know. Amazing for someone so young to have done all that.
She said, amazing for someone so young to be able to. She moved to Guam and she's back here visiting us, and we had a great concert on. Turn on the light up. Good morning, Devavani. I'm our first music director for 17 years, and she came. She's visiting from Guam. Her family's here. She's visiting from Guam. And we had a concert on Friday night, beautiful concert. So if you're interested, we recorded the concert. So if you're interested, email info@universalspiritcenter.org. info@universalspiritcenter.org. So she sang, and she also wrote a book of poetry, which is available in the back. So she interspersed her poetry with music. And so it was a really phenomenal, heart-opening evening. So thank you, Devavani. So I'm Kevin Busey. I welcome you. I want to take a moment and welcome any of you who join us for the first time this morning. Really glad you're with us here today. It's an exciting day because Devavani's here and because we're all together. So I welcome you. If you are new here today, I would love to meet you afterwards. So I'll be standing in the back after the gathering, and I'd love to meet you if you're new. So we have an introductory course called Foundations for Spiritual Living. It's 12 weeks long, and we just completed it last Friday night. So with the graduates of that program, please stand, and the class assistants, please stand. So congratulations, it was quite a process, and I really honor your commitment to the process, so thank you very much. And they all passed. A couple of them, we had to review the records twice, but they all passed. However, I will acknowledge, and I think we might all agree, someone actually ended up with an A+. We have an end-of-the-year project, and as part of end-of-the-term project, and as part of his project, Bob Mozai had tattooed on his back our logo. He did. Permanent tattoo, his logo. So we decided this morning we would introduce it as a fundraiser. So if you would like to see it, he'll show you for $5. And if you would like to touch it, $10, because I hear it has healing powers. You can be healed. So check it out. Bob is happy to show it to you afterwards, but he gets the A+. Also, all of you who were born in August, please stand. We really want to acknowledge our August birth. Elizabeth, Margot, Cheryl, Frederick, Susan, wow, Richard, Elizabeth, wow. All these cool people born in August. It reminds me of January when I was born, all these cool people. So I have some sad news. Two of our charter members, Joan and Frederick, would you two please stand? Joan and Frederick have the nerve of moving to Washington State.
Oh my God. Great grandkids.
Yeah, their kids and their grandkids and their great grandkids, so they've made the tough decision, right, to leave us, to leave San Diego. They are charter members. They go back in my life way before we started our community. So, and I'm going to acknowledge you more next week, but I just want to say this Saturday at 4 p.m., we're having a celebration for them. So all of you are welcome. Please come. It's at Aesthetics. It's in Bankers Hill. There's a sign-up sheet outside. It should give you the address, as well as we're getting a taco truck, so free tacos. So celebrate them and get some free tacos. So please sign up, because we want to RSVP to the coffee truck, taco truck. Okay, who's next? Okay.
Good morning. My name is Kathleen. I'm with the Racial Equality Project here at USC, and I have our announcements this morning. Our history: Shirley Chisholm, as the first Black American woman to run for US president through a major party, the 7-term Congresswoman shook up the 1972 campaign. True to her desire to bring about change, she hired all women for her office, half of whom were African American. She said, "I am not the candidate of Black America, although I am Black and proud. I am not the candidate of the women's movement of this country, although I am a woman, and I'm equally proud of that. I am the candidate of the people of America, and my presence before you now symbolizes a new era in American political history." And so together, we're going to acknowledge that we're going to say this together. We are the light bearers of love and forgiveness, vibrating the flames of equality, grace, and peace all over the world. To overcome racial and sexual inequality, we welcome our history. We are all part of our history. And then Wednesdays, Awakening Wednesday, quote for August: "The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet." And that's by Ernest Holmes. And there's going to be a Sacred Spirit Dance with Robin Kay. Amazing. Sacred Spirit Dance is a wonderful opportunity to move your body and let your soul fly, connect with your inner self through sacred dance, a meditative practice to go within. Join us Wednesday at 6:30 for great music, free-flowing movement, and wonderful community connection. Bring a friend or two. I'm definitely coming to that because I love dancing. And then the REP call to action this week is watch the video Power of Women. The video highlights the power of women lies not just in individual triumphs, but in the collective strength that emerges when they come together. It is fueled by the infinite depths of their spirit and their soul, supporting, uplifting, and empowering one another. Women create a force that can move mountains and create a more equitable and compassionate world.
Good morning. My name is Joe Cool, and there's this contest of looking cool up here, but then Kevin wore that shirt, so I give up. So I'm here to remind you folks, or inform you folks that may not know, that we have home groups that meet once and sometimes twice a month. And I think originally it was called home group because we meet at home. But what I have discovered being a leader and part of one is that it's about coming home to myself. And what we do is we take the topic of the month that Kevin has guided us through, and Rev Sarah, where are you, Rev Sarah? Writes a beautiful piece for us to follow with questions so we can go deeper. It's an opportunity to be intimate with one another in the community and intimate with oneself. And it's a way of deepening that experience that Kevin has invited us to have. So if you're part of a home group, can you just raise your hand? Yay, okay. And if you're not a part of the home group, I'd like to see your hand up there next month. Please try it. It's free, except for your story you might have to release. So I'll be out at the yes table, and if you have any questions, we can inform you about which groups we have. So thank you for your time. Kevin, love the shirt.
Good morning. I'm Bob Mosey. I have your announcements, the rest of them. If you have any questions about what we have discussed or going to discuss here, go to our website, www.universalspiritcenter.org. A summer of evening poetry, Friday, August 18th at 6:30. Come and join us for a published poet, Pat Andrus. That's going to be across the street. Again, it's Friday, August 18th at 6:30. You can sign up at the Yes Table or go to our website and sign up there. Spirit in Action, hosted today by Viraj. Viraj, will you stand up? We're having a meeting across the street at our offices. Be a participant in our efforts to be a transformative presence in our community. Refreshments will be served. And speaking of wolves, good segue, huh? What kind of wolf meditates? A werewolf.
Thanks for all of your attention during all of those announcements. We've got a lot going on here. I'm going to invite you all to stand. And turn around and look below the clock. There's a camera in which hundreds of people are watching us online. So let's wave and welcome to those people. And I invite you to stay standing and welcome each other to Universal Spirit Center. Make your way back to the seats. An especially lively crowd this morning. I apologize to all of you introverts, but people have a lot of energy this morning. So we have this morning Maria Teresa, who is going to, I'm going to light the memorial candle. Her father during COVID made her transition. And so we're kind of honoring all of those people during COVID who made their transition. So Maria Teresa is going to say a few words and then lead us in a chant. through the drum.
Did the chant get published on
Yes.
this? Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I just want you to know, many of you know I have what I call Chihuahua syndrome. You know how Chihuahuas get shaky when they get excited and they get shaky when they're scared. I'm both right now. So I'm going to see if I can pull this off standing up. If I can't, I've got a chair back there, Reverend. I'm going to sit in Reverend Kevin's lap, but he doesn't know that. I give him a hard time all the time. So I came to Reverend Kevin because I am going still through my own process about healing from all the things that I felt deprived of during COVID and all the terrible quarantining that we had to do with ourselves, to ourselves, and away from loved ones. I have the privilege of my dad being a COVID statistic, which I'm very sad about. He was in a small dementia unit in my hometown when he died, and he died during the worst of the quarantine. So I have 4 surviving brothers and sisters, and none of us could get to him. You know, we were there. I knew we were there spiritually, mentally, energetically, but even my sisters and brothers who were there, who really wanted to connect with him, couldn't. So he died in a room, you know, with a nurse who was very kind to him, but I know he died of loneliness. That's what I know about my dad. He was very healthy, 94-year-old, 2 weeks before he supposedly got sick. So I'm pissed off about that, excuse me, still, and I want to release that. So I am going to sing a chant that was given to me by a beloved friend of mine who was my age, who passed about 4 years ago. And I invite you all to sing it, and I invite us to open our hearts to basically release all the grief and everything that comes with that about that time and anything it created for us that was lower vibrational energy. I understand that the words to the chant will come up. I'm going to sing it once. It's very easy. And then please sing it twice with me. And we're going to maintain silence afterwards. I'll drum a little bit. And when you hear the drum fade, then bring yourself back into the road from wherever you go. Okay? And thank you for your attention. See, make sure I don't. One of my fears about this, some platforms wiggle and make a lot of noise when you move around, and I'm like, oh crap. But it seems like it's stable enough. So. The tides of life, the oceans know. They move and change with ebb and flow. We embrace and we let go. For we are children of the waters. We come out of the water. Okay, everybody sing with me. The tides of life, the oceans know. They move and change with ebb and flow. We embrace and we let go. For we are children of the waters. One more time, please. It's beautiful. Thank you. My dad's smiling. He loved to sing. The tides of life, the oceans know. And change with ebb and flow. We embrace and we let go. For we are children of the waters. Close your eyes and go wherever you want to go with that for a few minutes.
So let's just stay in this space of embrace and let go. And I invite you to just be in each breath. Embrace, inhale, and in the exhale, let go. What a beautiful place to be. I'm Borghild Kellenberger, and I'm one of your licensed prayer practitioners here at Universal Spirit Center. And the reading for today, I hope to do it justice, is based on the excerpts from a poem by Devabani. It's Prayer for the Broken. Mother, Father, God, help me today to be the stillness of the fallow field before first seeding. Help me to sit deeply in emptiness, in groundness, not grabbing onto anything or anyone. Allow me to be in the knowing, to float in mystery without raising my eyes to seek a familiar shore. Let me be a flame ever dancing and burning away all that is non-essential in me. Let me remain standing on my own ground of being without shame or fear. Show me how to live in this body, within this life, to feel this sorrow and this tenderness without moving to make it mean anything. Mother, Father, God, let me remember who I am, a divine child of the One. May I recognize that in each one of you sitting here this morning, you are the one. That creative force that emanates love itself, that creative force that moves into everything that is life itself, that breathes into us, that beats our heart, that shows us the beauty of the universe and the stars at night in that beautiful supermoon this last week. As in the waves of the ocean, as in the ebb and the flow, as in the embracing and the let go. How good it is to know that we, all of us here, are always one with the one. We are never alone. We are never separate. And so in this goodness, I know that God is. That God is. That God is. I know that God is in the words of Rev Kev's message this morning. I know that God is in the voice of our beloved guest artist, Deva Vani. I know that God is in the hands in our band and of our band, our Sounds of Spirit. As I know that God is working behind the scenes with our texts, in the sounds, in the whatever they do it beautifully. And I know that God is in the hands that prepare this place for us so ever lovingly. And so I am grateful. I am grateful to recognize myself, and I'm grateful to recognize the light in each one of you. And so it is.
I know you're listening and you hear me. I know you understand and you hear my small voice. There is no way I can separate myself from the body of your love. I've been searching and researching my soul for the answer to this. You're the only sense that I get when my senses are all spent. I want to talk with you alone. You will be here when all else is gone. Your love's the only thing I own. You are the giver of the gifts. You are the giver of the gifts. I remember a time of no time, no boundaries of my mind. There was no me and no I. There was only one. For now I live among your gifts, drifting back and forth in awareness, knowing this, feeling homesick. I want to talk with you alone. You will be here when all else is gone. Your love's the only thing I own. You are the giver of the gifts. Give me the giver of the gifts.
Devavani, so glad you're with us. So glad. So many memories, so many memories. So I want to acknowledge Joe for acknowledging my fruit shirt. I wore one on Friday night to the concert. It was a hit, so I wore my second one. Someone asked me this morning, are all your shirts fruit shirts? Nope, only two. Only two. I knew you'd go there, right? So speaking of, so my partner came to me the other day, Tim. He comes to me and he says, you wrecked my birthday. He's like, you wrecked it. And I turned to him and I said, how could I wreck it? I didn't even know when it was. That's not true. And he told me that joke this morning, so it was so good. So let's take a breath here. It's good to see so many of you here this morning. So consider this. Consider whatever you're facing in your life, whatever is in front of you, whatever story or drama or struggle is in front of you. Consider this is the path of your awakening. Especially if it's marked by chaos, by difficulty, by challenge. Especially if you have no idea of the outcome. There's a threshold before you in the struggle and the chaos of your life that's calling you to walk through. And there's one of two ways we could deal with this. We could do our regular habitual pattern thinking, our control and our withhold, and try to manage it, right? Try to stay safe and small and predictable, right? Because that's more comfortable. We could try to go meet the threshold that way. Or we could move our awareness from our heads into our bodies, into our hearts, and create through the breath and our intention a spaciousness within, a letting go and a spaciousness to allow to rise up whatever is needing to rise up. To be with whatever is. Not to control or manage or complain or withhold or fight. But to let go. In that spaciousness. So the image I'm having, and I mentioned this last week, is, there's a spaciousness rising in us. If we just let go of the monkey mind thoughts, all the noise, all the dramas, all the story, just let go and we can create, maybe we can feel it in our body through our breath, through awareness, a spaciousness. And then we're simply with what's unfolding in that spaciousness, whether it's comfortable or painful. Now, we've been reviewing the book by David Hawkins, who is a psychiatrist, psychologist, who had these awakenings in his life, and the book's called Letting Go. And what he says is courage is required to be with what's unfolding in our lives. Courage is required. Jeff, could you put up the slide? He also lists a list of emotions. We showed him a couple times this last month. A list of emotions in which the guilt, apathy, grief, fear, all those are like lower energy emotions, lower chakra, lower energy emotions. And then after courage, we've got the higher energy emotions. The top, which isn't on there, is enlightenment and peace, right? So notice that courage is about the center of this list. So what happens when you and I gain the courage, have the courage to be with what is? It's the middle point. It's a statement or a position of leaving the lower energies. Because when we have courage, it directs us upward to positive energies. So whatever you're going through, if we could just gather the courage, it's going to change the direction of the vibration of where we're headed. Does that make sense? It actually is middle point, and it flips. It calls for the movement then to come up, as opposed to staying down in the fear, in the reaction, in the guilt, in the anger, right? So to have courage to feel is a powerful, transformative thing. Because then the energy starts moving to a high vibration. I shared this last week, but for the last couple months that I got a hold of this book, Letting Go, I've been really practicing, imagining, this spaciousness and just trying to have the courage to be with what is, right? As uncomfortable or as painful or as confusing as it is. There's one good thing about you being confused and about me being confused. We stop depending on our own mind to try to figure it out. And hopefully, we'll surrender into we'll let go into a greater presence or greater wisdom that can lead us. So if you're confused, you're in a good spot. So I shared that I've been doing this process, and I will share with you a little bit about what I'm feeling inside. I am feeling lighter. I'm feeling lighter inside. I'm feeling like there's less noise. There's less noise. It feels more easier to be inside of me since I've begun this process. And I will tell you, it's not a comfortable process. So if you want to be comfortable and safe and predictable, go back into thinking about it, right? Go back into that. And again, David Hawkins says, don't think. Be with. Don't figure it out. Be with it. So I want to share a story for several reasons. It's a story I shared about 5 months ago, but I feel really called to share it again. And I was going through some old journals, and I actually encountered a journal that happened when I was going through this situation. Also, this story I'm going to share is about our gathered us. It's about us. It's our roots. And visiting our roots visiting roots from time to time is a good thing. And also, Devavani was involved in a lot of this early on. So I want to share. I don't know, some 22 years ago, I was assistant minister at a large church in Mission Valley. Some of you were there, Pacific Church, with Reverend Kathy Hearn. And I was assistant minister. I had just become a minister, all green and eager and enthusiastic, right? And Reverend Kathy Hearn had been the founding minister there for 15 years and had decided to step down. The biggest church, certainly in Southern California at the time, biggest center. So she decided to sit down, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking, I'm the logical candidate for this role, right? Because I grew up in this church, I just became a minister, I'm loved by the folks. I'm going for it. I'm putting in my application, and there was a screening committee of about 10 people who were, screening, vetting candidates. And I'm like, this is perfect. I've always felt called to head up a center. I don't have to move. I'm here in sunny San Diego. This makes perfect sense, right? So I applied 10 people discussed and whatever they did, and they didn't accept me and didn't even take me on to the next level. And they called me soon, right after they made that decision, and I was so confused. It was difficult, it was challenging. I thought, so many people know I applied. Little embarrassing. And then I'm thinking, now what? Now what am I supposed to do? Well, I don't want to leave San Diego. Although there was an interest, I'll acknowledge, this was 22, 23 years ago in Portland, but they had 3 active centers. So I'm like, what do I do? And I'm like, I stay here with an open heart. I stay here as a loving presence. And I'll acknowledge part of it was because all these people were watching how I would handle this rejection. So that was, I will acknowledge, certainly a thing. But I thought, I just have to. And you know, like I said, I was reading my journal about this. So I looked at my inner process and I thought, I just have to be with this. I have to trust that there's a call for me to be the head of a center. I just have to trust that, right? So I made a commitment to just be with what was unfolding. A new minister came down, you know, I helped her get acclimated, be in it, open heart. I'm open to a call other parts in the country. Nothing was coming through. In this spacious openness, in this open consciousness, a new idea came out. And it didn't come from me. It felt like it came from the spaciousness, and it was, begin a center. Begin a center. And so that was our roots. That was our roots, that first idea, some 20, 23 years ago. I don't know if we would have happened if I had tried to control it and figure it out. I don't know if we would have happened if I would have just closed down in fear and in reaction. I don't know that. But I do know that in my openness, a new idea came forth. So I was thinking about this, especially when I was journaling some 20 years ago about this experience, 20 plus years ago, was, you know, the helplessness that I felt, the pain that I felt. And I was thinking about that, what I journaled, and I thought, you know what? I needed to be there. I needed the awareness that I can't figure this out, that this is not going according to my plans. And I need to step back and let it be. I needed that. So if you, or when you, are in front of a situation in which you feel helpless, maybe hopeless, confused, you are in sacred space. Because there's an opportunity to let go into what wants to happen through you. There's an opportunity to let go into what wants to happen through you. So it's courage. You know, this is pointing back to David Hawkins, says courage is kind of like maybe it's the turning point. And he creates a whole chapter in this book of Letting Go on courage, discusses a whole chapter on courage. The ability to just be with, you know, the courage to just be with. So he says, what comes through in our courage, the up-leveling of energy, the peace, the awakening, he makes it a point to say, that's not for us alone. but that's for other people. That's a way we step in the world to serve. So whatever you, particularly individually, might be going through, as you step through that in spaciousness, it becomes an instrument of serving other people, i.e., the idea of Stardust Center. It blows me away how many thousands of people over the years whose lives we've touched. So what's happening through you as we create spaciousness and allow and surrender, it's for not you alone. It's not for you alone. It's for the greater good. And now you alone happens in those lower vibrational energies. That's all about you. The fear, the despair, the shame, embarrassment. That's you. But as we rise up, what moves through us is for the greater good. So I'm reading that, and I'm thinking, that's cool, right? That's great, right? So sometimes I read some contemporary spiritual writer like David Hawkins, and then I revert back to a 1950s book. Look how dilapidated it is. I'm continually reading this. And it by Joel Goldsmith, wrote in 1950s, right? So sometimes I just go back and forth in the same reading. So I read David Hawkins saying the power that moves through us to serve humanity when we go through the courage, right? So I'm like, oh, that's really great. Then I happen to open Joel Goldsmith to where I happen to be reading in it, and it says, ours is the responsibility to study, to meditate, and to do all that is necessary to bring a greater good to our individual consciousness, not for our sake alone, but that this light which touches our consciousness may flow through us to the world and benefit it. That we may be a center through which light of healing, peace, blessing, comfort, and especially forgiving happens to all. So here's a great way to check out where you're at. How much are we just focused on ourselves? And how much are we focused on other? Because when we move to the higher vibrations, when we gain the courage, we open to the experience of being a channel of light and grace and forgiveness for all. And that's how we change the world. So I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath and to close your eyes. Breathe right into your heart. And I'm going to invite you to breathe into your heart in such a way that you're feeling a spaciousness within. Just breathe in and just allow any noise or stories to fade away. And breathe in to create a spaciousness within. And just imagine that this spaciousness is filled with all the courage, all the light, all the guidance, all the wisdom that is needed for your life. All the guidance, all the courage, all the forgiveness to live your life. And call to mind, what is before you? What door or threshold would take courage to walk through? What's the situation or the struggle that you want to control and yet need to let go of? So walk through that door. Know that you have enough grace and guidance and wisdom and light walk through that door. Be clear that there's an infinite presence, an infinite support that carries you through this whole threshold. Walk through that door and experience everything new.
Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, and everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone. It'll never return, and I think I finally learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, and everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm done dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star. It'll never be mine, and I think it's finally time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, and everything new. I am ready for my next thing to do. I know it's gonna be everything new. Well, I've survived many times before, through broken hearts and slamming doors. I'll be alright, yes I will once more, just as I did back then. I'm gonna rise again, bring it on. Everything new, everything different, and everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. You can sing it, come on. Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, and everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. I know it's gonna be everything new. I know it's gonna be everything, everything new. Oh. Thank you. I think that might be my theme song in life. Everything new. And Kevin has invited me to the conscious giving sharing. So I love what Kevin said about courage. If you live long enough, you realize it takes courage to live this life, yeah? And what I know is that it's easier for me to have courage when I'm in a community than to try to be brave by myself. So I've been in this community for many, many years. I started back when Kevin was talking about this morning, the raw beginning. And it was raw for me too. I became music director here all those many years ago, having never been a music director anywhere ever. And just, finding a place for my voice to be part of the music of this community and to lead others in opening their voice and to just deepen in our community musically, supporting the message and the teaching. This center is still here. Do you know how precious that is? Especially after COVID, right? And you're still here. And we've all been through it, right? But even without the pandemic, there's plenty of things that happen in life that give us pause and put us through the ringer. I know that I did a lot of growing here. You can name the heavy hitters: death, divorce, marriage, illness. I walked through all of that here, and I was supported by community. I was supported by the love of this community, the wisdom of this community. Reverend Kevin, all my friends here, the music, always. And I don't know if I'd be standing in front of you without all of that. So I just acknowledge Kevin and everyone who is in service here, in leadership here, everyone who's in the seat here today as part of this beautiful community called Universal Spirit Center. And I invite you to give from your heart today in gratitude and in acknowledgement that this is a very, very special place. So what happens next? Oh, I get to say a prayer. Oh, wonderful. That spaciousness, that listening is here, all around and within. I call it God. I know that the presence of light and love are amplified when we are together. That light, that courage, that heart that we are right here and right now. Right now it's just exploding in joy, manifesting as friendship, manifesting as healing, manifesting as abundance overflowing. I give my heartfelt thanks that all of this is present right now, and that the greater good is served by your very presence. So whether you're new today or you've been here many times, I encourage you to give what you feel. And in that way, you join that beautiful cycle of giving and receiving, which is a circle which gives us everything we need. I say thank you, Mother, Father, God, and join me in saying, and so it is. So I let it be. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I rest in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender. I surrender. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I surrender. I surrender. I trust I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God.
So Devabadi has her book of poetry in the back. Support her ministry, and I'm inviting you to stand, to join hands. Take a deep breath and get really clear that right where you stand is a divine unfolding happening. It's moving in, through, and as your life. So let's open to that. We surrender to it, we let it be, and so it is.
So it is. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Can you feel it? I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart, and I won't let go. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful. Have a great day, everybody.